Hey, what's up? For those who don't know, intermittent fasting is essentially limiting your eating window to about 8 hours to 4 hours, maybe two, maybe one if you're crazy. Basically, 8 hours or less. And this is to give your body 16 hours or more to kind of deal with the food and get used to that. Now, there are a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting, one of which being that your insulin overall goes down or some shit like that. Don't quote me on that. And it changes the way your body deals with fat as an energy source. Some shit like that. Don't quote me on it. But what most people don't talk about, in my opinion, the biggest benefit is that it creates a hard stop to your day. Now, a lot of people, especially young people with their shit ass sleeping habits, they start eating at whenever they wake up, 9? Then they eat, whatever. It's like 10 p.m. they're eating, and some people even stay up later. It's like 1 a.m. And then they eat. It's like, if you're, for example, keeping track of your calories or something, right? If you eat at 3 a.m., what the fuck is that? Like, is that the previous day because you haven't gotten sleep yet? Is that the next day? Like, what is that? It's in this interstitial gray area that makes it harder for you to just keep up with your goal, for example. Because if you're intermittently fasting, you're probably trying to lose weight. No one really does it to gain weight, really. So while there are a lot of other benefits to intermittent fasting, such as, like I said, the internal metabolic shit, I totally forgot all about those because I've never cared about those benefits. I've never cared about them because they're just, icing on the top. They're not the main reason. The main benefit, in my opinion, of intermittent fasting is that it creates a hard stop and a hard beginning for when you're eating. So that means midnight snacking, early snacking, early morning snacking, that doesn't come into play because you have a set window that you have to stick to. It makes it very easy for you to not only track your calories and have better control over what you're eating, it just makes you used to not eating at night for no reason, not eating in the morning for no reason. Now, most people, they have an 8-hour window. Normally, I think it's like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. most people do. Or sometimes it's like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., something like that. That works for a lot of people. And honestly, the easiest way to start with intermittent fasting is to just skip breakfast. Because if you don't eat in the morning, you just eat at about lunchtime, 11, 12, 1. That means that your window becomes, let me do the math, 7, 8, or 9, right? That's pretty easy to fall within that. If you fall out of that, then your schedule is a lot more hectic than most people's. For me, mine was pretty crazy back when I was doing it during college. It was between, I think, 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. Oftentimes it would be 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And for those 3 to 4 hours, I would just eat snack, whatever. And then once 4 o'clock hit, it's over. I'm not touching anything else till the next day at about noon. Well, that is a bit extreme. You don't have to do that. But it was helpful because after 4, I got all my stuff in. All right. A lot of people think, oh, intermittent fasting, you're starving yourself. You're not eating before noon. You're not eating after 4. That's crazy. No, it's not crazy because the point of intermittent fasting is just the timing. You still have to get in the calories that your body needs. And if you're not doing that, you're doing it incorrectly. The whole point of intermittent fasting is to create extra benefits for your body because you're giving it a long period of time to deal with the food. But again, the biggest benefit is to control when you're eating. Give yourself a hard limit so that there's no ambiguity, no second guessing. Oh, this meal at 2 a.m. count for the previous day, the next day. I woke up really early. It was like, 5 a.m. Does that count as kind of like yesterday, today? I ate this morning. Like, I gotta stop at noon now. Like, oh no. It just, it makes intermittent fasting just makes it easier to keep track of your eating. In general, even if you don't count your calories, which you should, because if you're into intermittent fasting, you're trying to lose weight and you should really count your calories. But even if you're not counting your calories, setting just a very specific window for your eating will do wonders for you. Because again, it kills midnight sleeping, it kills midnight snacking. It eliminates a lot of snacking in general. If you have an 8-hour window, there's plenty of time for that, of course. But if you get more strict with it, it becomes very hard to kind of snack. You're more focused on the meals because you have limited time. If you have 3 hours to eat, you're not going to just snack the whole time because you're not going to get enough energy. And that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They go on intermittent fasting. They have a window of like 6 hours or something, and they're snacking, eating whatever, and then their window's up and they're like, oh God, I'm still hungry. No, the point is that you're supposed to eat what you need to eat within that window. This intermittent fasting is about the timing of eating, not about the amount, not about the quality. It's about the timing. That's it. So make sure that the amount and the quality of food are still up to snuff, because if not, you're going to have a really, really hard time. It's just not going to be fun. It's going to seem really stupid and restricted for no reason. But even to this day, I pretty much intermittently fast, not because I'm trying to, again, gain those metabolic benefits or anything like that. Just because, honestly, when I eat in the morning, doesn't matter how much I eat. If I'm eating at 7, 8 a.m. or something, I will be hungry 3 hours later. So it's like, why bother? Why bother? I'll just save those calories for later so I can have more fun when I eat, you know. Instead of eating in the morning, then it basically becoming useless because at lunchtime, I'm hungry. I can just skip that and just be hungry at lunchtime as usual. That's totally fine. I get to move those calories I would have eaten in the morning to lunchtime and to later on. Then I can just have more fun with the food later. But all of that usually fits within an 8-hour window for me. I find it incredibly easy to keep up with, unless you're traveling somewhere that can really mess that up. But in general, intermittent fasting is pretty easy to keep up with. And again, it frames your daily diet. It makes it nice and clear exactly where it begins, exactly where it ends. So you know what's happening. It frames it so you have a clear picture of how you're eating. And best of all, the window stops. The window has an end. So no more eating at fucking 1 a.m. That is honestly the best part. Because a lot of people, myself included, like, you know, when I was a teenager, I would be staying up late because I was, you know, a teenager, and I'd be eating a lot, you know, midnight, 1 a.m. But once I started with intermittent fasting, that completely stopped. And to this day, if it's like after 7 p.m., I'm like, I really don't want to eat. It's not only does eating too close to bed affect your sleep in a negative way, but it's like, I regret it. I'm like, I really should have just planned my day a bit better, but whatever. Anyways, if you also want help with fitness and weight loss, check out the descriptions. Some cool shit there. And if you want some future help and advice with losing weight and all that shit, subscribe. Not bye.